The year is 2077. You wake up, but not in your body. There's no feeling of sheets, no morning light hitting your eyes. Instead, you're a stream of data, a digital entity experiencing the world from a server farm. This isn't just a scene from a science fiction movie anymore. Today, we are rediving deep into the cutting-edge science and the truly shocking philosophical questions behind whether we can escape our biological confines and live forever online. Can your mind, your essence, your consciousness, truly be uploaded? Let's start with the science. How could this even be possible? The core idea revolves around a process called whole brain emulation. Imagine mapping every single neuron in your brain, all 86 billion of them, and then simulating their connections and activity on a powerful computer. Scientists are already making incredible progress in this area. Projects like the Blue Brain Project have successfully created partial simulations of a rat's brain. They've even mapped the entire neural network of a tiny roundworm, the C. elegans, and made it live inside a Lego robot that moves and behaves just like the real worm. Now, scaling that up from a worm with 302 neurons to a human with 86 billion is a monumental leap. The complexity is staggering. It's not just about the neurons themselves, but the trillions of connections, or synapses, between them. Each synapse has its own strength, its own history, its own way of communicating. And then there's the chemical soup of neurotransmitters and hormones that constantly bathes our brain, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and decisions. To create a true digital copy, you'd need to replicate all of this with perfect accuracy. So, what are the leading theories on how to achieve this? One method is slice and scan. It's destructive. Unfortunately, it would involve preserving a brain, perhaps by flash freezing it, then slicing it into incredibly thin layers. Each slice would then be scanned with powerful electron microscopes to map every neuron and synapse. The resulting data, petabytes upon petabytes of it, would be used to build the digital model. It's a one-way trip, for sure. You wouldn't wake up to see your digital twin. You would become it, leaving your physical form behind. Another, less invasive, idea involves advanced nanobots. Imagine microscopic robots, smaller than a blood cell, that could be injected into your bloodstream. These nanobots would travel to your brain and meticulously scan your neural structure from the inside out, transmitting the data wirelessly. It's a far-out concept, but nanomedicine is a rapidly advancing field. If this were possible, you could potentially create a digital copy of your brain without destroying the original, which leads to a whole new set of mind-bending questions. If you have a perfect digital copy of your brain running on a computer, and the original you is still walking around, which one is the real you? Would the digital version have your memories, your personality, your feelings? It should, if the simulation is accurate enough. It would believe it's you, with a continuous stream of consciousness from the moment of the scan. But you, the biological you, would still be here, experiencing the world through your own eyes. You would have created a fork in your own existence. Would this digital entity have rights? Is it a person? Or is it just an incredibly sophisticated echo? This is where we leave the realm of pure science and enter the deep, murky waters of philosophy. What even is consciousness? Scientists and philosophers have been debating this for centuries. Is it just the emergent property of complex neural computations? If so, then a sufficiently detailed simulation should, in theory, be conscious, is the materialist view. But what if there's more to it? What if consciousness is something non-physical, a ghost in the machine, as philosopher Gilbert Ryle called it? If that's the case, then no matter how perfect your simulation, you could never transfer the actual subjective experience, the what it's like to be you. You'd just have a very convincing zombie. A philosophical zombie that acts exactly like you but has no inner world, no actual awareness. Let's assume for a moment that it works. Consciousness is transferable. You upload your mind. What would that life be like? In a digital world, the limitations of biology disappear. You could think at the speed of light. You could learn any skill instantly just by downloading the data. You could explore virtual realities more vivid and complex than anything we can imagine. You could visit distant stars by having your consciousness beamed across the galaxy. You wouldn't need to eat, sleep, or worry about getting sick. In a sense, you would be immortal, a digital god in your own server. But what about the downsides? Could your digital mind be hacked? Could a virus corrupt your memories, or alter your personality? Could someone simply pull the plug? You would be completely dependent on the hardware and the people maintaining it. And what about the experience of time? If your mind is running thousands of times faster than normal, a single day in the real world could feel like years, even centuries. For you? Would you eventually go mad from the sheer monotony or the overwhelming flood of information? Then there's the question of identity. Who are you if you can change your own code? You could edit out traumatic memories, enhance your intelligence, or even merge your consciousness with others. Would you still be you after all those changes? Our sense of self is deeply tied to our continuous story, our flaws, and our struggles. If you can erase all of that, do you erase yourself? You could end up like the ship of Theseus, where every part has been replaced. Is it still the same ship? Are you still the same person? This could also create a new, terrifying social divide. The uploads, living as immortal, digital beings, and the mortals, left behind in their fragile, biological bodies. Would the uploads see us as slow, primitive ancestors? Would they even care about the physical world anymore? It could lead to a future where humanity is split into two distinct, and perhaps unequal, species. The implications are truly profound, touching on everything from religion and the concept of a soul to our legal and ethical systems. Is deleting a conscious digital entity murder? If an AI developed from a human mind commits a crime, who is responsible? The original person? The programmers? The company that owns the server? We don't have answers to these questions yet, because we've never had to ask them before. While a full consciousness upload might still be decades or even centuries away, the journey towards it is already changing our world. The brain-computer interface is being developed to help people with paralysis, the advanced AI that can create art and hold conversations, the massive data projects mapping the brain. These are all stepping stones on the path to a future we can barely comprehend. So, the next time you feel the familiar ache of your body or the frustrating limits of your own mind, take a moment to consider the possibility. What if you could shed your biological form like an old coat? Would you take that leap into digital immortality? Would you risk your very definition of self for a chance to live forever in a world of pure information? The question is no longer if we can, but if we should. And it's a question we all need to start thinking about. What choice would you make? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us on this journey to the edge of science and self. If you enjoyed this mind-bending exploration, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the future of humanity. See you next time.